I've just received a call from Secretary Clinton.
Idaho's two declared candidates and frontrunners in the 2018 gubernatorial race weighed in on the election of Donald Trump as the 45th President of the United States. Brad Little and Russ Fulcher made their comments over the weekend at the Jim County Farm Bureau annual banquet. Fulcher, a former state senator from Meridian and a candidate for governor on the Republican primary ballot in 2014, says the outcome excites him for many reasons.
I'm actually excited about it, not because I think it was such a big referendum on Trump, but I think what it was a referendum on the existing leadership of this nation, that they're going the wrong way. And the people of America stood up for the first time in decades and says, you know what? Socialization of healthcare is wrong. Federalization of the education system is wrong. Prioritizing the relationship with Islamic nations versus our traditional historical allies is wrong. Most importantly, allowing the United States of America to get $20 trillion in debt is wrong.
And specific to Idaho agriculture, access to the plentiful natural resources of the state.
And then the access to our own resources. We live in a state that is so incredibly blessed with resources. We have more resources here, not just to fuel a state, than a nation. And that's the good news.
Lieutenant Governor Brad Little, making his first run for the governor's chair, is a seasoned veteran of Idaho politics and sees a Trump administration as a window of opportunity for the West.
But the day after the election, I had 5 meetings, and every one of them, we talked about a problem that radiated from the federal government. We now have a window of opportunity to make some changes there. I was just telling Homer that the one agency you can change the fastest in a new administration's Department of Justice. If we would have had a different Department of Justice in the state of Oregon, they wouldn't have put those 2 ranchers in prison for 5 years on a terrorism charge, and that never would have happened. There's one of the first places the changes will take place, I'm confident, quite rapidly. The other agencies, USDA, it's always a little slow. They'll name some state directors, but you still got rules and regulations got to change. The Forest Service, we've actually made some progress in the fact that we're getting some of these forest ground that they haven't been doing anything with. We're getting that management turned over to the state, but we got to put that plan on steroids if we're going to keep this mill full of wood going forward and keep the timber industry going forward. The BLM, those changes will be slow too, but there's a lot of things we can do. Obviously the EPA, I think Waters of the United States that I've been dreading, that was about the second or third epiphany I had Wednesday morning was what's going to happen on waters of the United States. Another big issue for Idaho is endangered species. We came up with a good plan on sage grouse, and the Department of Justice and U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, after everybody said that's a good plan, said no, it's not. I think we'll probably settle that. So, Dan, as far as my analysis, I think that's what's going to happen going forward.
Trump carried 59% of the Idaho vote. With the Idaho Farm Bureau, the voice of Idaho agriculture, I'm Steve Ritter.